The South African Society for Animal Science will this year once again host a student quiz and debate. Joining me now to talk about this year's event is Jean Rust. Jean, what is the purpose of the student quiz? What would you like to achieve?
The student quiz was started about, I would say, 5-6 years ago at the Animal Science Congress. And the main aim behind it is to get the students involved in the professional setup. Most of the students participating in the Congress either present scientific papers or posters. And this is a way of getting the undergraduates and students that hasn't completed their masters yet also involved in the Congress, more in the, you can say, in the professional environment. And obviously it also brings a fun element to the Congress, that not everything is about science and technology, but also, a bit of competition. And obviously there's quite a rivalry between the universities about who comes out on top. So yeah, it's a way of testing can almost say the undergraduate theoretical knowledge. They enjoy it, and the professional scientists also enjoy it quite a bit. The debate is along the same lines. It's also to get them involved, but it differs in the sense that, here it is about critical thinking. For students, obviously, theoretical knowledge is one thing, but you want them to think a bit wide, the bigger picture. And especially if they join the professional ranks, that critical thinking becomes an integral part of their makeup. So we use the debate as a way of setting some challenging topics, thought-provoking topics, and just sort of test them on how they go about arguing about it. And it's also, in a way, thought-provoking for the professional scientists attending the Congress to hear what the youth think about certain things. Sometimes we live in bubbles and we're not always connected with the others, and it's sometimes good to get the younger view about some critical topics.
Who may participate or enter, and do you have qualification requirements?
Yeah, the requirements are mostly set by the universities, where they sort of almost prescribe to us who they would like to see competing in these competitions. So standard criteria is they shouldn't be older than 25 years. Now, those are then mostly your final year undergraduate students, or first or second year postgraduate master's students. The other only criteria is that they should still be busy with their master's degrees. They shouldn't have completed it. So it's basically final year undergraduate, second and first year postgraduate students that hasn't completed their final studies yet.
Jean, do you cover specific themes?
We do. The themes, obviously, for the quiz, we try and cover all the basic animal science disciplines. That will be anything from nutrition, physiology, breeding and genetics, pasture science, climate change, animal science. Animal health and welfare also plays quite a role, especially the animal welfare is becoming more and more of a hot topic nowadays. And then we cover all the species. They should be well versed in poultry, pigs, cattle, small stock, basically everything. The only discipline that we've omitted this time, we had it before, is aquaculture, because not all universities cover that discipline. So it will be a bit unfair to include that if the undergraduate students are not exposed to that sort of theoretical training. So we've excluded that. When it comes to the debate, how it usually works is the organizing group. The organizing group is made out of Plaas Media, which is obviously the main sponsor of both the quiz and the debate, and which we are very thankful for. People from Plaas Media, from some of the universities, and some of the members of the National Animal Science body. They are you can say, the core drivers of the debate and the quiz. So what they then usually do is they ask us to provide them with topics. Now, those are topics for both the preliminary rounds as well as the final round, which happens at the Congress itself. And yeah, we usually provide them with a list of 8 to 10 topics, and they then pick any topic that they see fit. We don't prescribe to them, we just give them a list to choose from, and they then cover or use those topics in the debates for the preliminary and the next round. I don't know if you're interested in the topics that we cover with them, but it's quite a wide variety of topics. It can be anything from animal welfare, trade related, something like the export of live animals, something that's closer to heart for them in their training, how do they think things should change? How do they think research should be conducted in South Africa, centralized or decentralized? So we really try and make it sometimes, I think, a bit too thought-provoking for the students, but it's very good to hear their viewpoint on these. So yeah, for the debate, we give them topics, but I don't prescribe which one they should be using. That's done by the grouping. That's not part of the organizing committee.
Now, I'm sure there are a few dates to take note of. Take us through the process. What happens when?
For the quiz, we basically have only 2 rounds. There's a preliminary round. It's done online where all the universities will then participate with all their teams. Sometimes universities would enter 2 teams, some of them would only enter 1 team. It depends on how many students they see fit to enter into the program. So they will then participate in the preliminary rounds. That's done online. That will happen on the 18th of April this year. And then the final, the 3 teams that make it to the final, will then happen at the Congress itself on the 3rd of July. So there are only 2 events as far as the quiz is concerned, the preliminary rounds and then the final at the Congress. With the debate, it's a bit different because it's a bit more complicated, the competition. The first round will be on the 18th, the same as the quiz. Then there will be semi-finals on the 19th, which is the day right after. And then the final will be at the Congress itself on the 5th of July. So 3 rounds for the debate and only 2 rounds for the quiz.
Any cost involved?
Lisa, we try and limit the cost for the students. Obviously, some of them are still undergraduate students, and the postgraduate students have limited budgets with their research programs. So they are not paying for the registration of the Congress. They pay no registration fees, except if they also contribute in the form of a scientific paper or a scientific poster. Now, those are mostly your postgraduates that will fall in that category. So the students only participating in the quiz and the debate and nothing else in the Congress, they are allowed to attend the whole Congress for free. And that also gives an opportunity to students that would have otherwise not been able to be exposed to the full scientific program to actually attend the Congress and to participate in the rest of the events as well. So yeah, there are basically no cost involved. For them, it will be the traveling cost and the accommodation.
Jean, you haven't told us where it's taking place, and perhaps to include as well, where do we find more information?
The Congress will be taking place in East London, Eastern Cape. We get our turn every 5th year or so. In East London at the ICC in East London. And yeah, a full Congress will take place there. The student quiz final round will take place there during the first day of the Congress, which is the 3rd of July. And the debate will take place on the last day of the Congress, which is the 5th of July. One thing I can just add to that, the student debate will form part of a bigger panel discussion on animal welfare. The final topic for the student debate is a welfare-related topic, and we thought it, fitting to include that as part of a panel discussion during the final day of the Congress. And after their debate, it will be followed by a professional panel discussion on animal welfare. And obviously the students will also be welcome to participate in that. Something else that I might mention and that we'll be doing differently this time around with the student quiz, which is on the first day again. Usually it was only the students participating in the quiz and that was it. So we are toying with the idea of having a bit of a round where the professional people will be competing with the students or competing with each other, just to bring a bit of a fun element into it again. And maybe we can also test the historical, theoretical knowledge of the professionals and see if they still have it. So that's in short what it's all about. For more information about the Congress itself, there's a Congress website, www.sasascongress.co.za. All the information is there. And if you want specific information about the student quiz and the debate, Deirdre at Plaas Media can be contacted. Like I said before, Plaas Media is the main sponsor of both the quiz and the debate, and she can be contacted at Deirdre at plaasmedia.co.za. She will have all information available about both the quiz and the debate.
Jean Rus joining us today to talk to us about the South African Society for Animal Science Student Quiz and Debate.